Good morning. We will pay attention to income and expenses today. Sold goods on credit to my year 800. So that means the one double entry will be in the sales account because we've got sold goods. My year is a debtor, so the double entry will be in the debtors control or the account of my year. In the debtors control, we will debit the account with 800 because debtors is an asset and assets increase on the debit side and decrease on the credit side. And we will credit the sales account to indicate that the income increases on the credit side and decreases on the debit side. So the income will increase with 800 Rand and the debtors control will be debited with the 800. A profit of 25% on sales price is made. If the profit is on sales price, then the sales price equals 100%. The sales price equals 100%. The profit is 25%. So the cost price must be less than the sales price because we made a profit. So the cost price will be 75% of the sales price. The sales price was given as 800 Rand. So if we want to calculate the cost price, the percentage that we want, 75, divide by the percentage that we know, 100, times 800, and that will give us 600 Rand. So the one that we want will go at the top and the one that we know at the bottom. The inventory will be credited because we reduce inventory on the credit side. Inventory is an asset that increases on the debit side. So the inventory was sold, we have less inventory, so we decrease our inventory on the credit side and we will debit the cost of sales account. Cost of sales is debited because cost of sales is an expense and expenses increase on the debit side. So the double entry will be completed in the cost of sales account and we will write the word inventory to indicate that the double entry is in the inventory account. Put a check to Sekela Stores for goods purchase for 8,000 less 20% trade discount and 10% cash discount. So because we are buying the goods with the purpose of selling, they will give us trade discount. And if we pay immediately on this discounted amount, they will allow us cash discount. So we will first calculate what is the total amount on the check and the cost price of the inventory. The normal sales price is 100%. That equals 8,000 Rand. Trade discount is 20% of that 8,000, so that gives me 1,600. If I subtract it, I see that the credit purchase price is 6,400. Because they said that we will pay for it immediately because we issued a check, it means that we get an additional 10% discount on the 6,400 because that is our actual purchase price. And we deduct the 640 and that will give us the cash purchase price of 5,760. We purchase inventory. So inventory is an asset that increases on the debit side with the actual price that we paid. Bank is an asset that increase on the debit side and decrease on the credit side. So the bank will be credited to indicate that there's less money in the bank because we paid out money. Received a check for 760 for the rent. We received money, so the one entry will be in the bank account. The purpose is for rent, so the double entry will be in the rent account. We will debit the bank account with the 760 to increase the money in the bank, and we will credit the rent income account with the 760 because income increases on the credit side. Purchase stationery and paid by check. The one entry will be in the stationery account. We take money out of the bank, so the double entry will be in the bank account. The bank account will be credited to reduce the money in the bank, and the stationery account will be debited with the 86 Rand. Stationery is expense. Expenses increase on the debit side and decrease on the credit side. Issue a check to pay for the electricity. So the one entry will be in the bank because we paid out money, and the double entry will be in the electricity account. The bank account is credited with 180 to decrease the money in the bank, and the electricity account will be debited with 180 because electricity is an expense that will increase on the debit side. The owner donated goods to the local school, 50 Rand. If we donate goods, the one entry will be in the donation account. Because we give goods to them, it means that our inventory decreases, so the double entry will be in the inventory account. The inventory account is credited with the 50 Rand because the inventory decreased, and the donation account is debited because donation is expense and expenses increase on the debit side. Issued a check to pay the monthly insurance premium. The monthly installment that we pay to the insurance company is called a premium, but the ledger account will only be called insurance. So our expense that we pay is for insurance. We've taken money out of the bank, so the double entry will be in the bank. The bank is credited because we decrease the amount of money in the bank, and the insurance account is debited because insurance is an expense and expenses increase on the debit side. What did we learn? Assets and expenses increase on the debit side. Liabilities and income increase on the credit side. And for each transaction, a double entry must be completed. The one entry will be recorded on the debit side of the ledger account, and the double entry will be recorded on the credit side of another ledger account.